jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle bells.
Morning and welcome to my YouTube channel. We're 2 days before Christmas, so Merry Christmas to everyone, and I hope Santa's going to be kind to y'all. So this morning I'm sitting in the Kerrang in the Isle of Skye car park. It's definitely going to be a WW day today. Very wet and very windy. I'm just waiting on the light coming up and the rain to go off. Failing that, I'll just get full waterproofs on and we'll get out and we'll start to have a wee explore around the area. So join me and let's see where this journey takes us this morning.
Making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Finally made it to the Kerrang. So, one of the most visited areas on the Isle of Skye because of its immense ruggedness and beauty and mystery, you name it, it's got it. Because it's been involved in many films like Snow White and the Huntsman, Big Friendly Giant and a few more. So I'll just turn the camera around. Sun's about to rise, although it's really cloudy and gale force winds this morning. But I'll turn the camera around and you can see where we're walking. So at the moment I'm just following the trail till I get to the viewpoint, and there's a storyboard around the Kerrang. Oh boy, and just look at that horizon. I think this little camera is lighting this up a lot better than it actually is, but it's absolutely freezing with the wind. So what I'll do is I'll keep walking and then I'll catch back when I get to the viewpoint. Alright, so I've reached the viewpoint and oh boy, it's windy. I'm glad I didn't bring the drone because there's no way the drone would have coped with this wind. It's just severe gust after gust and it's absolutely bitter. Right, I'll turn it round, the camera round, and you can see the viewpoint I've got. So, the Kerrang is the largest landslip in Britain, and as you can see it all slopes down. It's all part of the old Trotternish Ridge, goes all the way from north to south. There's three main areas in the Kerrang. You've got the prison, and then further around you've got the Needle, and then on the top of the mountain you've got the Table, but we won't be venturing that far today. If I can get to the prison and if I can see the Needle, I'll be happy. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop here and take some shots of the viewpoint, because we've got some snow in the hills, because the Old Manor store is just over there. We've got Rassie, the islands, and then we've got the Scottish mainland on the other side. And I'm freezing. So I'll take some pictures, and then when I do, I'll share them with you now. I'll start walking along the path. The challenge I have with the light, when I put it on a slow shutter speed so that I could get a high f-stop, the wind was vibrating the camera. So what I've had to do is lower my f-stop to f2.8, increase my shutter speed to 200th of a second, and then whack up the ISO to ISO 640. So, and then that's the only way I can get the light. But hopefully that doesn't compromise the quality and the sharpness. I'm just watching where I'm walking because it's really rocky. Wait, I'll turn around and show you. That's the rocky section I was walking through I mean, the landscape is absolutely stunning. So still more ice that we've got here. Just being careful. So I've got to put my wellies on because I wasn't sure how wet this was going to be, but I'll need to be careful because wellies and ice don't mix. Right, I'll keep walking. You can see the path, and I'll catch back at the next point of interest. Oh, I've just spotted a little famous tree landmark down there. So that tree, it's quite a famous photography location. I will try and get down. The last viewpoint I went to get, I slipped and fell on my backside, so you'll probably see that footage. I've taken all the speakers off, the mics off just now, because every time I put the GoPro down, it keeps getting blown over. So right, I'm going to set up down here and see if I can get this composition. Right, I've come down to this wee gully. I don't know if you can see it, but I slipped right up my backside coming down the grass. Jeez, with the wind, I've got to hold everything. As soon as I put the wee tripod down, it gets blown over. I've got to make sure this doesn't get blown over, the big camera. But anyway, I'm in a gully now, and that's safe. I've got this famous tree. So the challenge I've got is the tree is moving. So I've put my shutter speed up to 160th of a second. I'm still shooting at f2.8 and ISO 640 because whatever I do, and I'm doing bracket exposure as well, because whatever I do, I'm not going to really get the detail. So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to try and move a wee bit further down to that shelf. I'll be really careful and just see if I can get a lower elevation shot of the tree. And when I'm finished, I'll share these images with you now. So a wee bit step closer so you can see what I've been taking photos of. So I went down to the ledge and I've taken a shot from underside, and I'm really trying to catch the snow on the top of the hills there. And then I went to this viewpoint and took a higher level shot and looking down to the tree, and then I've isolated the tree. I've done a portrait shot, so we've got a really tall one, and hopefully they've turned out right. So now to get my way back up there to the path so that we can get to the prison, and we'll catch back soon. Oh, stop for a breather. As you can look back, there's amazing Trotternish Ridge right over, and we've got Staffin down there, and hopefully we'll get there later on, have a wee look at Kilt Rock. But that's where we're heading to, and I'm thinking that's the prison. I've never been here before, so it's a fair old hike across these wee paths. So what we'll do is, as I get closer, I'll give you an update. If anybody's coming here, I haven't seen this shown in the videos that I've watched, but these paths, whilst the scenery is absolutely outstanding, look at how treacherous these paths are. And the thing is, I've got wellies on. Should actually put my boots on. Right, I'll need to figure out how to get over there safely and climb up there to get to that ridge. And all going well, I'll catch back when I'm round there. So I made it. That's quite a steep wee rock to slide down. So back on the path and heading towards the prison. So all going well, this is just going to be muddy. However, I've just noticed there's looks like a gully up there. Anyway, we'll tackle that when we get to it. So another breather. I'm getting a bit closer. As you can see, we're starting to get under the peak. And over there, on the mainland, you can see the snow crest in the hills. And then, if I just turn round, we've got that incredible view behind us. But the other thing I was wondering, if they've made all these movies here, how the heck did they get all the equipment up there to film? Because this is some trick. And look how narrow these paths are. It's some trick to carry heavy camera and lighting and sound equipment across. So I've no idea if they're lucky enough and they got a helicopter to drop it off, but if anybody knows, leave a comment below. Alright, so another tricky crossing. But if you look up, see that little waterfall trickling through the side of the rock. Pretty cool actually. So, because this is Britain's largest landslide, it is actually moving. And allegedly, the council have to repair the road every year because this landslide actually moves a centimetre every year. So here's hoping it doesn't move with me today. Right, I see the path, we're going up there, and then we're climbing up that hill, and then hopefully the prison should be in sight. I'm over that hill, it still feels like a fair bit to go. So I'll keep walking. What I might do is stop and get some shots of this view, and that's, you can just see my van over there in the distance. I think I'm pointing to it in the wee camera. Oh, wow, I'm absolutely bushed. Right, I'm going to stop, take some photos and for a breather, and then I'll share those images with you. But I've got company. At least we've got sheep for company up here. Right, again, more of the spectacular view. But I'm hoping I'll be under it. Oh crikey. It's actually like a never-ending path. It's so deceptive from a distance. Alright, so there's a couple of paths here. There's one goes that way and one goes this way. I'll go to the top there and have a look, and then we'll figure out what we do. Coming up here and never been here before like me, that second path just went round that mound, and as you see it goes below me and it eventually joins the path that I'm on. Anyway, well, I think it does. Yeah. Right, I'll follow this bottom path and we'll keep going. Right, so I've come up the path that I said I was going to come up, and this takes me up to another ridge. Whereas if I took that steep path, I would have come up just below the base of that rock. So I'll keep walking this one because it's pretty well trodden. Right, I've reached the needle. I've reached the prison. So I'll just show you. I'm right in the middle of it. There's peaks. There's more rocks. There's more. What a cracking view over the Trotternish Ridge. Oh my God. So at one point I thought, let's chuck it because it's never going to get there, but I'm so glad I persevered. Right, what I'm going to do is just move over there and then shoot back the way. There's the needle up here. There's no way I'm going up there. This is bad enough for this morning, that's for sure. So what I'll do, and I think the table is over that ridge and over the back. And the table is famous because it's a big flat area on top of the mountain, and it's reported that that's where all the local farmers hid all their cattle away from the Vikings. So yeah, right, let's head over there and let's get set up and let's see if we can get a composition of the prison looking back there. Right, this is hard work this morning. The wind's absolutely crazy. I tried to climb up there, but the wind just pushed me off, so I'm not taking that risk. So I've just parked up here. It is still really windy, but I'm going to take 2 or 3 different compositions. I can't use the camera to talk you through what I'm doing because the wind keeps blowing the tripod down. So right, let me get set up, let me take these images and I'll share them with you now. Alright, so I'm just going to pack up. I've taken all my shots. I just nipped down there and I got some extra shots looking up through the prison and then out over the bay and over to the mainland. I've just met a really nice guy who's climbing up the needle, but he may not make it because of the wind, so he's not going to risk it, he says. Anyway, I'll finish here and I'll pack the camera away and I'll head back to the van. Back to the van, having been to the prison, and absolutely shattered. So I've drove down now to Kilt Rock. This is definitely not a day for the drone because I thought I could fly the drone up to photograph the waterfall here. That's not going to happen. The van's rocking like mad here. So what I'll try and do is I'm just going to handhold my camera because there's actually a lot of people down there, and I don't want to get in the way. So what I'll do is I'll go down, I'll take photos, and when I'm finished I'll share those images with you now. Right, I've pulled in at the side of the road because I want to go and photograph Loch Fada with the old man is store in the background. So if I turn it round, you'll get to see where I'm heading. So I'm just shooting down to the loch. I've had to change my coat because the other coat I was wearing walking to the crag is absolutely soaking, because when I fell, it's absolutely ringing. So this is a dry coat that will keep me warm. And right now I've got a wee bit of a lull for the wind, but driving along there, the wind was moving the van all over the road, so it's a really strong windy day today. Right, I'll catch back when we reach the photographic point for the loch. Alright, so as I'm walking down the marsh, I'm just looking for a kind of viewpoint area. The ground is absolutely rock hard, and this is looking pretty nice. So the loch, oh yes, I've got this open grass in front of me, so that'll be a nice viewpoint area here. So the reason that the loch is looking like it's still is because it's actually frozen. So that's all ice on the loch, and that's why it looks so nice. I've got a nice viewpoint here, so I'll take a couple of shots. That's the old man's store over there. And what I'll do is I'll take a few shots at this elevation, and then what I'll do is I'll work my way down there. But first of all, I'll take these shots and I'll share these images with you now. So I've managed to get down to the edge of the loch, and what I've done is I've just zoomed in so that you can actually see the old man's store and what I'm referring to. So what I've got is a 60th of a second f8 ISO 500, and I've put the polarizer on to take the glare out the water, because the reason I've put the polarizer on is there's some really nice reflections on the ice, and we've got like a mirror image of the Trotternish Ridge, the old man's store, the little island, and it's absolutely really nice. And I've got that moodiness with the clouds. Having said that, the wind, I'm getting a wee wind, but geez, it's absolutely freezing with the wind, I must admit. Even with this big jacket on, it's cold. I mean, it was -4 yesterday and it wasn't as cold as this. It's 5-6 degrees today, but the wind is just making it really cold. Right, so what I'm going to do here, there's a nice white boathouse up here on the left hand side. So I'll try and include the boathouse in the image, and I'll try and do a kind of panoramic shot as well. And I'll take 2 or 3 different compositions. I'm not quite sure a kind of portrait composition will work here, but the landscape will definitely work, whether that's going to be a wide landscape or whether that'll be zoomed in. But anyway, I'll take these shots, I'll share these images with you now. Pack up and then head back up to the van and then drive into Portree, and I'm going to have a wee wander around Portree because I'm trying to see if I can get a remote hard drive. Mine's is miraculously filled up last night, so I'm struggling for saving all my images. Anyway, I'll get to Portree and then we'll figure out what we're going to do after that. I've went to the 3 main locations I was aiming for today, and that was the Kerrang, Kiltrock, and here, Loch Fada, looking over onto the old man's store. So we'll catch up either in Portree or we'll catch up back at the van. Well, that's me back to the van, and the rain is and the wind is absolutely howling outside the van. I've had an interesting day. The Quorang was quite impressive, in fact very impressive. Now I've been there first, I'd love to go back in better weather and then actually go and climb the Needle, and if I can, find the table as well. But the prison, pretty spectacular. The walk was a lot longer than I thought. It was about an hour and a half for me to get there. Anyway, and then the Kilt Rock and Loch Fada. But I'm back safe, and I'm just about to have a wee Christmas cake, and I wish you all a very Merry Christmas. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do, because you know it's free. And if you press the bell notification, that'll let you know the next time I post a video. So thanks very much for watching, and I hope you all have a fantastic Christmas. Bye.